So the VA on 1/1/23 launched a life insurance program for our vets. We have spoken to 12,000+ vets. We transparently and properly guide them. Veterans served our country. They wrote a blank check for us. There's a code of ethics missing. Most are overpaying or they're in the wrong plan. One of my agents saved a guy $104 a month. It is a guaranteed acceptance whole life plan for service-connected disabled, and there's no coverage for 2 years. You pay premiums. How do you know that day one coverage, day one proper life insurance isn't available to you? We will dig in. We understand the carrier's guidelines. The VA life plan either saves a veteran thousands of dollars, or it could potentially have a veteran throw away a few $1,000s. WeProtectVeterans.com. We have been able to properly guide veterans. The 75-year-old veteran want to wait 2 years for the coverage to kick in. The VA does not have insurance agents. We're going to find it for you. Hey everybody, this is Mike DeCecco, owner of Timeless Protection, and I'm back to make another video because I think it's important for us to look at where the VA life insurance program is for veterans after 18 months on the market, essentially. So the VA on 1/1/23 launched a life insurance program for our vets, and it's geared towards final expenses. And I want to be very clear, over the last 18 months, we have spoken to 12,000+ vets. This is all we do day in and day out here. And at the end of the day, we've gathered a lot of intel. So once again, my name is Mike DeCecco. I own Timeless Protection. I started this company to safeguard veterans through their insurance process. And what does that mean? Well, it means that if a veteran is out here searching and in need of coverage, we transparently and properly guide them. So there's nothing to sell. We don't pitch. We have no tactics. Personally, I think that stuff is very corny. But at the end of the day, you served our country. Veterans served our country. They wrote a blank check for us, and they deserve the best. It's that simple. We believe here strongly that there's a code of ethics missing. After COVID and everything went more over the phone instead of in-home, I'm a very old school type person. I like to be in-home. I like to shake hands. I like to sign actual pieces of paper, but it's just not where the industry is at. And that's across many industries right now. So we safeguard you guys, meaning if you already have a policy, we get calls from vets, hundreds of calls. They have policies and they just want us to check them. So we uncover a lot of things during these policy reviews. We look at it and most are overpaying or they're in the wrong plan. So we can get into all of that at some point, but I would love you to like and subscribe. We are going to start putting out a lot of content and stories from some of our private underwriters and agents here who basically serve vets day in and day out, and we hear nightmares. This morning, one of my agents saved a guy $104 a month in added coverage. I just got off the phone. It's a Sunday right now, so we are 24/7 with this. I just got off the phone with a guy. I saved him $56 a month in added coverage. So there's just a lot to know because life insurance is the one product. And I hate calling it life insurance. We need another name. Protecting families, protecting your family, the last gift, whatever it may be. But when it comes down to it, it's an insurance plan and it leaves money for our family. So it's got to be done right, guys. I can't stress it to you enough. It has to be done right. So for all the folks that impulse buy their life insurance with all the over-the-counter products, AARP, Globe Life, American Income, Gerber, Colonial Penn, $9.95 guy. Like, I'm the $9.95 guy. Come get a policy for $9.95. So for all the veterans who have gone with an over-the-counter policy, meaning your coffee table policy, that's what we call them. AARP, Globe Life, Gerber, Colonial Penn, $9.95. Awesome stuff right there. Thank you for telling me in the commercial that $9.95 is my insurance policy, even though that's $1,000 worth of insurance. I'm never going to rag on a company, but I will rag on their marketing because that is terrible. Anyways, for all the people that get these plans, when we look at them, you're either in a 2-year wait, overpaying, or your policy is going to expire. It's that simple. Those three things. So when VA Life came out, I've got veterans in my family. This plan was looked at as a whole. Maybe it was better, maybe it wasn't. So when we looked at this plan, I knew right away, comparing the product to the private market, that it was only going to be good for a very small amount of vets. Now, let's break VA Life down. For one, VA Life is only for service-connected veterans. So service-connected disability rating, 10% for hearing, 5% for hearing. It even says on the website 0%. So if someone can, in the comments, let me know what 0% disabled means, I'd love to know, because I'm trying to learn all this stuff and put it on our site for you guys to check in with. But VA Life, it is a guaranteed acceptance whole life plan for service-connected disabled veterans. And essentially, there's a no questions asked form to fill out, no health questions. It's basically how much coverage do you want, and it's up to $40,000. So it's $10, $20, $30, or $40,000 worth of coverage. And there's no coverage for 2 years. You pay premiums, and then on the beginning of your third year, the VA Life plan kicks in. So I want you to think of something. And this is what I thought of about 2 years ago when I saw this. How do you know that day one coverage, day one proper life insurance isn't available to you? How do you know that? You don't know that. One, the VA is not going to tell you that. The VA is not going to go out of their way to educate you. They will send their emails. They will maybe mail something out to you guys, but a lot of people look over that stuff and we miss it. I'm one of those people. So if you're fairly healthy, right? Day one coverage is available if you work with the right team. You've heard this in my other videos. We will dig in and we understand the carrier's guidelines when it comes to all of these issues that our vets can have. And the VA Life plan either saves a veteran thousands of dollars, or it could potentially have a veteran throw away a few $1,000s. Now, I don't know about you. If I'm on the phone and I'm just trying to help you understand things, I don't want you to think that I'm trying to push a policy on you. I could care less if a policy gets written. You served our country. You protected my family. You deserve proper guidance. I think that is very simple. It's just really hard nowadays, since everything has switched to telesales and calling, and your guys' phones are getting lit up. Nobody knows who to trust. And this is why I want to put out as much content as humanly possible. We are going to have veterans make their own testimonials so that you guys as vets and consumers can see what we do. And, go to the website, weprotectveterans.com, click on the Veterans Home tab. There's a bunch of drop downs: VA Life, VA Burial Benefits, Life Insurance for Veterans, the breakdown. And then there's a full-blown testimonial page, and there's Google reviews. So we understand the hesitance. We understand that we don't know who to trust nowadays. That's why we're here. We're here to give you that resource. We're here to give you that group. So 18 months later, I can proudly say that since this plan has come out and we have just talked to thousands and thousands of vets, we have been able to properly guide veterans into the right plans, and that has ended up saving them over $1 million worth of premium. Yes, we're saving vets money. Well, how do we save vets money? Let's just say a 75-year-old vet calls me up. First and foremost, does a 75-year-old veteran want to wait 2 years for the coverage to kick in? I already know what you're thinking. The answer is no. So if he calls me up or she calls me up and they're like, Mike, I need a $10,000 burial policy. I don't want to be cremated. Although cremation as of late has become very popular just due to the climate of our country. But Mike, I want a $10,000 whole life policy. Please guide me the proper way. Okay, well, I need to know a little bit about your health. Well, why do you need to know about my health? I need to know about your health because for you to get the proper coverage, carrier needs to know that you're not terminally ill or going through a cancer treatment right now. You're not on dialysis and hooked up to oxygen at the same time. These are the veterans that the VA Life plan caters to. The sick vet, the veteran who has just gone through it to the point where there's no going back. They're jammed up. And I hate taking those calls. I hate delivering that news to the veteran because we fight for day one coverage. But does the veteran still deserve to know where the least expensive policy is? Yeah, in a lot of cases, if they're too sick, that is VA Life. That is the VA Life policy. So the 75-year-old, little bit of health, if they fall into the proper guidelines, and I mean fairly healthy. Like I've gotten day one coverage for a guy on dialysis, stage 2, 3 kidney disease, stage 1 or less prostate testicular breast cancer, day one coverage, COPD and oxygen. You just need to know your stuff, right? So if I've got a rare car and my engine goes, I can't take it down to the local shop, right? Local shop isn't certified to fix these type of cars. Well, I have a veteran on dialysis. Not every carrier is going to give that guy the proper policy. So we need to know the ones that are. And we have access to them. What this does in the end, if you get day one coverage, it means you're not paying premiums for 2 full years into nothing, right? Because with a guaranteed acceptance plan, AARP, Globe Life, Gerber, Colonial Penn, you're gonna hear me ramp on these things. If you can't get day one coverage, you are in a 2-year gap, and if you die, the carrier is going to return the premium back to your family. If you get day one coverage and you die 10 minutes after that policy is effective, as long as there's no foul play, suicide, you don't die committing a crime, that policy is gonna pay in full. So I always tell it to you guys like this. You're shopping for coverage, right? The VA has never shied away from private market carriers because SGLI, when you convert that to VGLI, it's a prudential policy, right? So I get veterans all the time that say, you're not part of the VA. Why are you doing this? Why are we on the phone? I'm on the phone because I'm gonna let you know more or educate you better or help you through this process in a better way than the VA is. Now, I'm not sitting here ragging on the VA either. The VA is a phenomenal resource. It has helped my family members immensely, especially on the healthcare side. Like lights out, wonderful. But they don't go out of their way to educate. And this isn't auto coverage or homeowners coverage. This is life insurance. This is get it right and die, family is taken care of. Get it wrong and die, family is up that creek without the paddle, right? So what we've noticed over the course of 18 months is that the rates are really good with VA Life. VA Life has day one immediate coverage rates, but there's a 2-year wait. So the VA doesn't have life insurance agents. Guys, if you fill out an ad somewhere, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Google, wherever, and you get on the phone with someone, and they say, I work for the VA, I'm gonna offer you Aflac. They are lying through their teeth. The VA does not have insurance agents, okay? The VA does not have insurance agents. I'll say that again. It's the private side. It's the independent guys like us who see a problem, and it involves the greatest people in our country, and we wanna make sure that it's fixed. We wanna make sure you have the proper coverage. I will go through every carrier on planet Earth. There's a cutoff point where, like, if I talk to a guy and they withhold information from me and I submit an app and he gets declined right away, can I still submit it with other carriers? Yes. If I submit to another, decline, and then one more, decline, I'm stopping, and we're gonna go through your health a little bit more in depth. But if we do a quick first page of an application and it greenlights you for day one coverage, that weeds out AARP, Globe Life, Colonial Penn, Physicians Mutual, Lincoln Heritage, Gerber, AAA, you name it. Those are all weeded out. And another big thing about when you guys handle your insurance policies by yourselves, the beneficiary pages are rarely filled out correct. So the beneficiary page of an insurance policy is the most important page. That's who's getting the money. That's why we're paying money monthly. You know, and there's a legitimate fund in the United States that's got hundreds of millions and billions of dollars of unclaimed life insurance policies. We will not let that happen. No, I'm a single father. I'm on a budget, fairly tight budget. If I trust somebody with a service, I want to know that it's right? And a lot of guys and girls just don't think talking to an insurance person is fun. It's not. I'm an insurance, I don't like talking to insurance people. The problem is insurance people are hated until they're needed. So when we need that check, or when we need that car fixed, or when our house burns down. So take the time to do the process right. Just take the 5 minutes to protect your family properly. In the beginning, when VA Life first came out, nobody knew about it. So there was a lot of education to it. Now, after 18 months, most people know about it. They don't know that you need a service-connected disability rating. So the VA is cutting out a lot of veterans on their own. They're just saying, hey, stick to the private market. Now, let's take a veteran who doesn't have a service-connected disability, but is very, 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 very ill and can't get day one coverage. The difference in price from a private market guaranteed issue 2-year wait to VA Life is anywhere from $50 to $110 a month. Like, it's a big gap. It's a big gap. I personally feel like the VA should offer this coverage to everybody, all veterans. I don't make those rules. All I can do is step in and help where I know my expertise can help you guys. The three of us here have a gigantic passion for helping you guys, and at the end of the day, if we're going to do this, we've got to do it right. We want you to know that our Department of Insurance numbers are all over our website, weprotectveterans.com. All our bios are on there, credentials, anything you need to make you feel a little bit more comfortable, it's all on the site. So if you're a vet and you need a little bit of help with guidance, call me directly. Look at my info. It's going to be in the post. It's all over the website. Text me first if you want. If I don't answer, I'm either coaching my son's baseball team, which we're getting our butts kicked every game this year. It's been real bad, real bad. I need some of you vets to come down and, you know, like the old school ways. Because these kids these days, Jesus. Whew. Anyways, off topic. If you guys need help, let us know. If you're at your wit's end and you're like giving up on trying to find coverage, which we talk to a ton of people that are, we're going to find it for you. Or if we don't find it for you, we are at least going to let you know where you stand in the world of coverage. So that way you don't have to keep talking to 5,000 incompetent people who are going to take your personal information and they're going to bolt and you're never going to hear from them again because they're not going to ask about your health and they're not going to mention VA Life. That's another thing. Going back to if you guys are shopping and you're talking to multiple people to do this. If you get on the phone with someone and they're working with quote unquote vets, but they don't mention the VA Life policy, they don't work with vets. They don't work with vets. Do we see any benefit to sending a vet to VA Life? Do we see a monetary benefit? No. Who cares? It's the right thing to do. I would never be able to sleep at night if I sat with a vet or if I talked to a vet and I knew that they had a service-connected disability. They couldn't get day one coverage, but we went to the private market to put something in place because we wanted a commission. It's why my company exists. It's to keep you away from those people. So again, I'm going to be doing a ton of content. I'm really bad at all this stuff. I'm terrible with technology, but I want to help as many of you guys as possible. The VA Life plan, again, it's a unisex rated, which kind of stinks for women because it's basically a men's rate. 2-year waiting period. 10, 20, 30, 40K, whole life, policy never expires, price never changes. It does build cash value, but you can't take loans off of it, so I don't know why it builds cash value. This replaced SDVI. Well, it didn't really replace SDVI, but they discontinued SDVI, Service Disabled Veterans Insurance, when VA Life came out 18 months ago. Guaranteed issue, 2-year wait, whole life plan, no coverage for 2 years, no 5,000, no 12,000, no 25,000, just 10, 20, 30, 40. Geared towards final expenses. It's geared towards making sure final expenses are paid for. I always get on the phone with some people and they're like, Mike, my burial expenses are covered. I don't need VA Life or I don't need insurance. Okay, well, how do you have them covered? Well, the VA's paying for it. Headstone, plot opening and closing, flag, medallion, and a check for $300. That's 99% of the time. Can you get up to $2,000? Yes, under a bunch of parameters, so stipulations. All it boils down to is if you're looking for coverage or if you have coverage, let us check it. Let us guide you. I'll show you. Your health is going to dictate where we go, right? So your health is going to tell us what's available. Now, we have access to everything. So we're obviously not putting term in place if we need a burial coverage, because then you'd have to die before the term was over to make sense. That's a whole nother video, getting caught up in term policies. I'm not against term policies, but Americans are generally, I don't want to say greedy, but they want the biggest policy. If you've got 200, I want 300. Well, in the world of life insurance, I want what's going to pay my family. And term policies rarely pay out, okay? We check your health. We go over rates. We will check by your zip code the average cost of a direct cremation, full service cremation, affordable burial, and a full service burial. We will check literally to like the mile in your zip code and all the funeral homes around that. We'll figure out the cost. We'll tell you what we would do in this situation. We'll tell you what it costs. And if your health can get us day one coverage and you want to bless us with that task, we will exhaust those options for you. And then you will have a contact point for your insurance policies, and we'll help you however we can. So like, subscribe, weprotectveterans.com. If you want to join the fight in helping and join the cause and saving money for our veterans, and we do a ton of giving back as well. I have a client in West Virginia, Mr. Ellis. Essentially, he is now a pastor and he has addicts getting clean on his property. I live in the world of recovery, so just to share something about me, I've been a long time clean, sober boy, and life is amazing, but I have that perspective. So we send them, we're putting together a care package right now, white t-shirts, boxers, socks, all stuff that they don't have anything. So people in recovery are people too. Just because someone's in active addiction doesn't mean they're a bad person, okay? It's a terrible disease right now. What's going on in our cities is terrible right now. What's going on our borders is terrible right now. We need to get a grip here, kids. What we can do at Timeless is protect our vets. If you want to join that, let me know. We are hiring. We're not hiring like crazy, but we want people who are going to jump in and help us. If you're a vet and you can get us in front of a decent amount of veterans or someone who can advocate with us, that would be amazing. Because everybody we talk to wishes that we could get on the VA website, which obviously that's completely impossible, but we just want to help, right? There's nothing better to me than waking up and helping veterans. I swear, there's nothing better. So subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your service. WeProtectVeterans.com, and you have a blessed day. Harper, come here. Oh, Harper, under the bright lights. My babies. Oh, the babies. Hey guys, Mike DeCecco again, Timeless Protection. We are advocates, we educate, we safeguard veterans through their insurance process. Essentially what we do is we join them in the shop, join them in their information gathering. We provide transparent, proper information, no tactics, no pitches. We just help them through this process. It's important to get insurance right, and right now we're the leaders in doing it. We've got thousands and thousands of veteran clients. We've talked to over 15,000 over the last 2 years, and we've gathered up a lot of info. So this is Harper. Harper's been in another video. Say hi. She's so cute. So Harper always comes in here when we do the mission accomplished type content, where one of our team members or myself, we save a vet a ton of money, or we get them out of awful policy. Just Agent Jay MacArthur. Jay is probably one of the smartest people I've ever met. Jay is a legend in the world of commercial insurance, or was. He left the industry for a while. He basically hated insurance. Once he saw what I was doing with vets, it was a no-brainer for him, and he dove right in. And man, this guy has been helping so many of you guys. And he came across a gentleman. I briefly mentioned him in another video, but he came across a gentleman who had 19 Globe Life policies. I repeat, 19 Globe Life policies. Listen, I'm all for carrying insurance, but when you have 19 policies in place, do you just reverse engineer how that happens? That happens because you've got someone on the other side either pulling the trigger on their own or manipulating or telling this man that he needs this or this or this. No person in their right minds should have 19 insurance policies. That to me is criminal, right? So Jay talked to this guy, got off the phone, we spoke and we went over everything, and he's down to one policy and he's paying, well, let's just say he's saving $2,000 a month. Guys, that is a mission accomplished. Like when you take a call like that with a vet and you get off of the phone, first off, think of how that vet feels. He's got the right policy, the right amount of coverage. That man was out $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month. These are the things that we run into, guys. You know, so when we sit here and talk about life insurance and your head goes, oh, they're just life insurance people, they're just trying to get us to call them, blah, blah, blah. Tell that to the guy that just saved $2,000 a month because he let us look at his stuff. He was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So if you're sitting there and you're seeing this and you've got a policy sitting in your lockbox or at the top of the desk or in the bottom drawer of this or balled up somewhere, grab it. Let us see it. You can email me the information if you'd like. You can text me, call me. We will break it down. We will make sure you are in the right spot. And if there's something to fix, we'll fix it. If there's nothing to fix, now you know, right? Good job, Jay. Like, subscribe, weprotectveterans.com. Mission accomplished.